What you're about to see is a full spec ad for Puma created entirely with AI. And in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how I made it, but first, here's the full spec piece before I break it down. Alright, so I want to just do a quick little breakdown of this Puma spec spot that I created and basically how I even came up with this idea. So I just went to Puma.com here and kind of looked at their sports, and the sports that they offer is basketball, motorsports, that's where the F1 kind of came into play, soccer, and then MMA. Now, which I didn't see MMA here, but I just did a quick Google search and I said Puma MMA. Once I got into here, I saw that they actually were kind of getting into that world a little bit more. So I just went ahead and added that into the spec piece. You'll see things in the spec where I like put a Puma mat, for instance, which they don't create, but I just wanted to add the logo into that world. So what I did first, once I did that, is I just went over to MidJourney, kind of just come down here, and I can kind of show you a couple examples. Let's just go to organize. This will be quicker. There's a lot of generations here. This is from the short film that I did recently, but regardless, for instance, like this guy, our F1 racer, I just, I did a pretty basic prompt, but I said something like symmetrical, cinematic, portrait shot, black and white, nighttime, F1 racer looking right into the camera, Puma racing jacket, determined, triumphant, 50 millimeter, 1.8 on the aperture, and realistic. So this, this wasn't the exact one I used in the spot, but you can see kind of what this gave back. That's kind of how I created those shots at the end. Actually, this was the exact one at the end there, of them looking into the camera. So it just gives you an idea of how I prompted to create those images. And I did it across the board with our soccer player, our basketball player, our F1 racer, and our MMA fighter. And then I just, prompted other situations to put them in. And then once I had those frames, then I popped over into Kling. And then once I was over into Kling here, I'll kind of show you. Go to video here. For instance, like this guy here. I did the image to video. We took this guy, dropped him in, gave it a pretty simple prompt, like camera zooms out to show more of the F1 racer, racing jacket, black and white. Man is looking with intent and breathing deeply. And it kind of gave us something like this. As you can see, it added a second logo, which is something that I particularly didn't want, but I was able to, when I was in the edit, to work around that, but I actually used this exact frame in the spot. So then once I generated all of these, I went over into Suno. So what's great about Suno, you can just come over to create and you can pretty much say any style you want, any type of music. And then for like adding commercial tracks, I always just do instrumental and then just explain the type of vibe, type of music, type of tempo. You can just list this all out here. And then, I like working in this workflow because for one, it's going to create you music that nobody else has. Nice thing is it's not stock, so you're not going to have the same song as somebody else on a different commercial, vice versa. And then I went over to ElevenLabs. And then inside ElevenLabs, you can go into sound effects here on the left. And then once you're in sound effects, then you can just generate or explore the different type of sound effects. So for instance, I had one here called goal, and it just gave me the sound of the soccer ball going into the goal. But that's kind of a quick little rundown of how to generate something like that. We could have started with the idea inside ChatGPT or Claude or any type of other LLM to get the ideas flowing, but I kind of had this idea, so I just said, hey, I'm going to start generating some images to get my look down. It wasn't the full polish start to finish that I typically teach in my course. I'll teach you how to go from idea generation to creating your shot list, creating your storyboards and things like that. And then all the way into, the look and feel, the image generation, the video, the the sound effects, all this stuff that I kind of just showed you real quick. I go much more in depth of how to do all that, but that's kind of the breakdown. So, and then once I kind of put this all together inside DaVinci Resolve, you can use obviously any video editor you want, any NLE that you're comfortable with, and just put it all together. And then that's basically how I did it. Oh, and one thing I want to mention too, I decided to do a 1-to-1 ratio. So instead of like a 9:16 or 16:9, basically when I was inside MidJourney here, I just did a 1-to-1 ratio just to make it a little more social friendly. So that's why I did a 1-to-1. But yeah, that's it for the Puma spot. If you have any questions, go ahead and give me a shout. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.